Have you ever paused to watch how effortlessly a person turns into a marionette? Strings yanked by invisible hands. Their every move dictated by forces they scarcely notice? A fleeting symbol dances before their eyes. A bright smile flashing like a beacon or a shadowed frown creeping like dusk. And their soul pirouettes in response, twirling helplessly in the grip of unseen puppeteers. Lucky symbols usher in a burst of sunshine. A radiant flood of warmth that lifts the spirit. A buoyant heart humming with unrestrained joy. Unlucky ones drag storm clouds overhead, dark and brooding, heavy with gloom that weighs the mind like damp earth. It's a mesmerizing spectacle, this dance of the psyche, where a mere glimpse can shift the entire landscape of a person's inner world without them ever grasping the reins. Imagine, though, wielding the power to plunge into any mood at your whim, sliding silkily into a tranquil ocean of calm, where waves lap gently at the shores of your thoughts, or vaulting awake, electrified, like a sprinter exploding from the blocks at the crack of a pistol, every nerve alight with purpose. If that stirs your spirit, igniting a restless curiosity deep within, then master the art of crafting decks. Vivid tapestries of inner cards woven from potent images that shimmer with meaning and resonance. Each card, a deft finger pressing a hidden button buried in the soul, orchestrates a symphony of feeling, a cascading melody that ripples through you. The whole deck conjuring the precise state your soul craves, as if you've seized the conductor's baton over your own emotions. To wield this deck with finesse, you must first map the secret buttons that tug at your being, those subtle triggers lurking beneath the surface of awareness. Begin with the body's buttons. Raw, primal, and unadorned in their simplicity, they pulse with the ancient rhythms of survival itself. Hunger gnaws like a quiet beast pacing its cage. Thirst parches the throat with a dusty whisper that scratches at your resolve. An awkward twist of limbs fidgets unnoticed in the background. Yet the subconscious, that silent sentinel ever watchful, snaps to attention in an instant, attuned to the faintest tremor. These are the foundational levers, crude yet commanding, that steer the ship of self before the mind even hoists its sails. Your body is a tireless machine, stoking the furnace of temperature with relentless precision, pulsing rivers of blood through veins like a ceaseless tide, juggling 1,000 unseen tasks in a grand, silent ballet. When it falters and pleads for aid, it doesn't shout with fanfare. It murmurs through the shadowy corridors of the subconscious, a soft but insistent call you feel in your bones before you hear it echo in your thoughts. It's a marvel of engineering, this flesh-and-blood contraption, ceaselessly signaling its needs through whispers that bypass the clamor of conscious intent. These murmurs are the first threads in the tapestry, the primal notes that underpin every mood you'll ever weave. So, when the world shifts, a breeze turns blistering, scorching your skin like a desert wind, or a chill seeps into your bones, numbing your marrow, a button flares to life, vivid and urgent in its summons. You're lost in a riveting tale, words weaving magic that ensnares your imagination. When heat creeps up your spine like a stealthy intruder, and you blurt, "Good grief, I'm roasting in a furnace," a cry that ruptures the spell of the story. It's a sudden awakening, this flare of sensation, pulling you from the dream world back to the raw reality of flesh. The shift is undeniable, a spark that ignites awareness and demands a response. The body's trinity of buttons reigns supreme. Breathing, eating, sex, each a titan in its own right, ruling over the kingdom of instinct with quiet but unshakable authority. Take the breathing button, a titan in its quiet majesty, an unassuming giant that holds dominion over every moment of existence. Each inhale fuels the fire of life, a steady bellows stoking the flame within. Yet we treat it like a forgotten servant, toiling unnoticed in the dim corners of our awareness. What a blunder to overlook it. This ceaseless rhythm that hums beneath every thought and deed. A gift we scarcely honor until it's threatened. It's the master key, effortless to turn with every rise and fall of the chest. impossible to defy. Cut the air, and we crumble, frail as dust scattered by the wind. No wonder we gasp. They've choked off my oxygen. When the world squeezes tight, constricting our freedom or smothering our hopes with its weight. Breathing is the silent sovereign, the pulse that anchors us to life itself. A force so elemental we forget its power until it falters. It's the invisible thread that ties us to the earth, a lifeline we clutch in every desperate moment. Breath is the golden thread in the tapestry of existence, a shimmering filament that weaves through every culture's understanding of vitality. In China, it's qi, the life force humming through every leaf and stone, a vibrant energy that courses through the world like a river of light. In India, prana, the sacred wind that lifts the soul heavenward, a divine gust that animates all things. It's the foundation of beings, the breath that carries the weight of spirit across borders and ages. It's the bedrock of every mood, every fleeting state, a current that flows beneath the surface of joy, sorrow, or rage. In yoga's ancient halls, they chant, "Tame your breath, and you'll tame the cosmos," bending the universe to the rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. Without it, you can stand on your head till the stars fall, muscles trembling with effort. You'll never touch the yogi's grace, that serene mastery of self. Breath is the pulse beneath every sigh, every soaring leap of the heart, the quiet engine driving the dance of emotions. Then there's the eating button. Oh, how it sings to us all. A seductive melody that lures us to the table with promises of delight. The gobble it down command ceases, like a ravenous wolf, insatiable and wild, tearing through restraint with gleaming teeth. We've long forsaken the primal rhythm of hunger, that slow, patient drumbeat of need, driven wild by a world dripping with temptation. Golden pastries glistening like treasure, aromas curling like sirens from the skillet. The sizzle, a lover's call that beckons us closer. It's a sensory symphony, this feast laid before us, a banquet that drowns out the body's quiet cues with its opulent roar. Who could wait for hunger amidst such a feast? When every corner tempts with abundance, and every scent ignites the appetite, this delicious button is a rogue saboteur, toppling any mood with a single bite, turning calm into chaos or sorrow into fleeting solace, with the crunch of crust or the melt of sweetness. The true culprit behind our gorging lies deeper, a heart adrift, unmoored by life's tempests, seeking anchorage in the comfort of a full belly. It's a rebellion of the spirit, this urge to consume, a cry muffled by the clatter of plates and the rustle of wrappers. Clip a rat's tail with a rusty paper clip, a crude jolt of pain, and it'll devour double its share, stuffing sorrow with crumbs in a frantic bid to numb the sting. So, when you find yourself shoveling food like a coal stoker feeding a ravenous furnace, pause, feel for that jagged clip pinching your spirit, that hidden wound festering beneath the surface, and yank it free before the feast claims you entirely. It's a revelation. This pause, a chance to hear the heart's quiet plea amid the clamor of appetite. Eating becomes a mirror, reflecting not just hunger but the storms that rage within. And then, the sexual button, a wild, untamed beast in the jungle of desire, prowling with a hunger all its own. Breathing and eating bow to your will alone, obedient servants shaped by your command. But sex? It hungers for another's touch, a yearning that reaches beyond the self into the unknown. Not strictly required, no, but oh, how the heart yearns for that dance, that electric collision of souls entwined in passion. It's a force untamed, a primal call that echoes through the chambers of longing with a voice too potent to silence. And therein lies the trick. Under the banner of a mate, the world can smuggle in any lure, any trap, any sweet poison cloaked in the guise of desire. Admin crow. No sex, no sale. And they're dead right. Their cunning honed by the button's irresistible pull. From rusty nails to hulking excavators. Slap a half-draped goddess on the poster. Her gaze smoldering. And eyes will lock. Hearts will race. Wallets will open. It's a calculated strike. This appeal to instinct. a spark that leaps from image to impulse with the speed of lightning. Why? The sexual button's a live wire. Untouchable, unskippable, crackling with energy that surges through the veins. Your subconscious prowls the streets, a hunter in the dusk, muttering, "There, over there, look at that," spotting curves and shadows in the crowd like a hawk on the wing, ever vigilant for the next thrill. It's a restless predator, this instinct, scanning the horizon with eyes that never sleep. It turns the mundane into a chase, a game of pursuit played out in fleeting glances and stolen breaths. Its power is a tidal wave, crashing over reason with relentless force. You're striding along, mind ablaze with grand plans, thoughts soaring like eagles, when bam, a glimpse of skin, a whiff of scent, and your thoughts drown in a warm haze, thick and enveloping. You stand, rooted, aching, the world reduced to a single, pulsing desire. People think it's all taut fabric over swelling curves, or a man's iron biceps that ignite this fire. Wrong, it could be a lone, round button, winking at you, the final gatekeeper to bare flesh. And suddenly, it's the sexiest thing you've ever seen. A tiny detail magnified into obsession. How do you flee this button when the world's a carnival of triggers? Each sight and sound a spark in the powder keg of lust. Lusting for sex turns every shadow into a tease. Every symbol a spark that threatens to set the soul ablaze with yearning. To be or not to be, that's your call. Will you let the beast loose to roam free? Or leash it tight, holding its reins with iron resolve? One press plunges you into a velvet dusk. The air thick with intimacy, a realm where time slows and the heart rules unchecked. So weigh it. Are you fine groping through life half-blind, stumbling through a haze of desire? Or will you save those presses for shadowed corners where they belong? Moments carved out for their proper place? It's a choice of mastery, a question of whether you'll wield the button or let it wield you. The world won't relent. Its lures are endless. Its temptations a constant drumbeat against restraint. Yet in that choice lies freedom, the power to decide when the beast roars and when it sleeps. Cultural buttons swarm like locusts. Endless, buzzing, inescapable. A cacophony of influences that shape the contours of your mind. Education isn't just learning. It's carving buttons into your soul. Each lesson a chisel stroke that etches patterns deep into your being. Culture hands you a script, inked in iron. What you'll study under flickering lights. Whom you'll bow to in deference. Where you'll toil beneath the weight of expectation. How you'll savor your meals with fork or chopstick. Who you'll bed and why the whole damn play of your days. Scripted before you take the stage. It's a relentless machinery. This cultural press, forging you into a shape that fits its grand design. Parental scripts are the deepest cuts, wounds inflicted in tender years that harden into scars you carry for life. You've forgotten the barked orders from when you howled like a banshee in a tantrum, scaled the wardrobe like a monkey on a vine, or scrapped in the sandbox like a pint-sized gladiator defending honor. But sit still. Don't do that. I'll fetch the belt. Those barbs sank into your subconscious, eternal as stone, anchoring you to rules you no longer recall writing. Now, lost in a forest's hush, you choke before shouting. Those old voices gag you still, their echoes ringing through the years with undiminished force. If mom and dad droned, no games, help out. Even now, a chessboard taunts you with guilt. Your subconscious grumbles. Quit fooling around, work, as if their shadows still loom over your shoulder. It's a haunting, this persistence of memory, a chorus of commands that plays on repeat beneath the surface. Those early lessons are ghosts, steering your hand long after the voices have faded. Worse still are the life scripts they etched. You're a boy, dry those tears. Stand tall like a soldier. You're a girl, marry well. Weave a home from dreams. Little commandments that bloom into epics. Sprawling narratives that steer your ship before you even grip the wheel. Charting courses you never chose. They're blueprints of destiny. These parental edicts, laid out in the cradle, and followed through decades of habit. They whisper through every decision, a quiet but insistent guide you can't outrun. Those sagas unspool grandly. You'll rise through school to a corner office. Would a quiet worker bee who hums with diligence spawn a brood to carry your name? Men are dogs, snag a rich one, but keep him on a short leash, lest he stray from the path. Our name's a banner. Fly it high. Make them feel its weight. A legacy chiseled in stone. These are no mere words. They're chains, forged in childhood's forge with a hammer of love and fear, binding you for decades, sometimes till the grave claims you with its final, silent embrace. They're the scaffolding of identity. These scripts, a framework you inhabit without ever questioning its architect. Herd buttons herd us like sheep, a collective force that sweeps us into its tide with the dawn's first light. Dawn breaks, and we flock, bleary-eyed herds stampeding over dew-soaked fields, boots squelching in rhythm, crammed into trams, buses, fussing with collars and cuffs as the world awakens. It's a migration of instinct, this daily rush, a pulse that pulls us into step with the throng without a word of command. Laughter rings sweeter in a stuffed theater, the herd's pulse amplifying every chuckle, a shared joy that swells with the crowd's breath. Fashion's born here too. Long skirts sweep the streets like a tide. Mine follows in their wake. Short ones strut with bold confidence. And I'm clipped to match, even if I'm a kilted Scotsman, proud and plaid, bowing to the whims of the masses. It's a dance of conformity, this herd instinct, a rhythm that shapes us in subtle, unspoken ways. The collective hums with power, bending individual will to its melody. Soul buttons spark when you peel away from the throng, stepping out of the herd's shadow to birth the I, a blazing ember of self that glows with fierce independence. With it flares I want, a declaration of desire that rises like smoke, and soon a constellation ignites. My dream, my passion, my calling, my furry little tyrant of a cat, each a star in the firmament of identity. It's a rebellion, this emergence of self, a breaking of chains that tether you to the flock. The I is a flame, fragile yet defiant, burning brighter with every step away from the crowd. Threats to that sacred I flip switches fast. Danger, betrayal, they've passed me by, each a jolt, a cry from the core that reverberates through the soul. It's a fierce guardian, this sense of self, quick to sound the alarm when its borders are breached. The soul buttons are the deepest triggers, wired to the essence of who you are, sparking with a ferocity that demands attention. They're the heartbeat of individuality, pulsing beneath the noise of the world with a rhythm all their own. Now, with these buttons bared, peer close at their dance, observing the intricate steps of this internal ballet with a seeker's eye. Society's a puppeteer, threading buttons through us with deft, invisible hands, tugging as it pleases to shape our paths through the grand theater of life. Mephistopheles sneered, "Men die for metal, a fool's jest, shallow and blind to the deeper truth. Metal's cold and dead, a lifeless husk. Symbols are alive, pulsing with power, shimmering with meaning that stirs the blood and bends the will. People kneel to them, tremble before them, bleed for them, offering their lives to these intangible lords with a devotion that defies reason. Symbols reign over the earth and over every quivering heart within it. Their dominion absolute and unchallenged. They're the true sovereigns. These flickering signs, wielding an authority that steel can only dream of matching. The world turns on their axis, a carousel of images that command allegiance with every spin. So consider the buttons: body, culture, herd, soul, each a string in the puppeteer's grasp, each a note in the symphony of your existence. They hum beneath the surface, a chorus of influences that shape your every step, your every sigh. To master them is to seize the strings, to dance not as a marionette but as the one who pulls the levers of fate. It's a grand ambition, this quest for control, a journey inward to claim the power that lies dormant within. Yet the world resists. Its current strong. Its symbols relentless in their pull. You'll stumble. You'll sway, caught in the tide of triggers that swirl around you like a storm. But with each press, each pause, you learn the rhythm, the give and take of this intricate dance. It's a lifelong waltz, this interplay of will and instinct, a battle to hold the reins of your own soul. Imagine a deck crafted from these threads, a collection of cards each etched with a button's mark, a tool to summon the state you seek. One card for breath, steady and deep. One for hunger, tempered and wise. One for desire, leashed yet alive, each a key to the kingdom within. It's a vision of power. This deck, a map to navigate the chaos of being with deliberate grace. With it, you wield the symbols, bending them to your purpose rather than bowing beneath their weight. The art lies in the crafting, the slow weaving of images that resonate with your core, each card a mirror to a piece of your spirit. It's a labor of love, this creation, a testament to the self that dares to stand apart and claim its own song. The deck becomes a companion, a guide through the labyrinth of moods that twist and turn with every dawn. It's yours alone, a tapestry of meaning stitched from the threads of your life. So take the stage, map the buttons, craft the deck, and dance with the strings in your hands, the symbols at your command, the world a canvas for your will. For in that dance lies freedom, the liberty to feel as you choose, to live as you dream, unshackled from the puppeteer's grasp. It's the ultimate act of defiance. This mastery, a declaration that you are no marionette, but the architect of your own soul's song.